Welcome to GearCheckGames. This is part 13 of our commentary for Banjo-Kazooie. Last time we entered Mad Monster Mansion. Today we're going to finish Mad Monster Mansion. What a surprise. So this is the church area. And here you can really see kind of clearly demonstrated what I was talking about a couple episodes ago, where for some reason they elected to make all of the scenery here like giant.
Yeah.
So that you would appear tiny. And like I said, I think that's a really clever and like subtle way to make things seem creepy without going like horrific or anything. It's just like, oh no, I'm tiny and like all the ghosts are big.
It's kind of weird to me because like every other thing in this level was normal size.
Maybe they're just really big chairs and a really big organ and really big ghosts. You ever think of that?
It's a church for giants.
Yeah, I guess this is the ghost church. They would build it to like their size specifications.
It makes sense why the giants would be in here. Why they would consolidate them. They're taller. They can get closer to God.
Yeah.
What if they
actually, now that I think about it, this entire mansion is implied to be like Grunty's like summer home or something. I never had Grunty pegged as like the church-going type though.
Well, that's why it's covered in cobwebs and everything.
Fair enough.
Grunty's origin story is kind of like the ending of the movie The Vivitch.
Oh god.
So like she went for a while.
Okay, you want to see something that the HD version absolutely butchered? Yeah, it sounds like you remember this, Dan. I don't know how they thought this was okay. I'm just gonna let it speak for itself.
Wait, what?
It's the same
All
note.
of the notes produce the same note.
Oh.
In the original game, every note that you it didn't like correspond exactly to piano keys, but the note that it played was in sync with the background music. Kind of like in Mario Galaxy, like when you collect a coin, it's always like in the same key as like what the music is doing at that point. So it sounds like it matches. And that's how this minigame used to be. But for some reason, they didn't retain that in the HD version, and it just bugs me.
It's weird.
That's what I hate about like HD re-releases of games is like, for most people they are like the definitive way to play just because like, oh, it's like 1080p, it's got a smooth frame rate with no slowdown, and like these are all like great things. Obviously, I would prefer to play the game in that way. But it's just such a shame that we have to put up with so many little like glitches and problems like this to get stuff like that.
Yeah, it's like the entire song was monotone, and then everything goes back to normal afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, especially in the game that's like it's musically charged as Banjo-Kazooie. It's kind of like, what the hell?
Yeah, it's like I wonder if Kirkhope knows about that.
Are those guys?
What have you done to my game?
Are those guys kind of pink to like, kind of like the pink zombies in Castlevania that keep coming back?
Oh god.
The red skeletons.
Yeah.
No, they're Crimson Heads from the Resident Evil remake.
Oh.
That's why they rise again.
Crimson Heads.
Now, it might seem like we're done. Well, no, it doesn't, because there's an obvious fly pad over here, but there's more goodies to be found up in the rafters.
Nice. You'll see the hole that Cloud fell down if you get high enough.
Please tell me it's like comically just shaped like his silhouette.
There's like a silly sword. This has been Silly Swords with Banjo.
Remember, Trey, when we played Final Fantasy VII?
Yeah.
And I did the Raptors part where like you have to like guess right on all the paths.
Yeah.
And I guessed like every single one of them wrong.
Well, since it's like a 3D game but with 2D backgrounds, it's incredibly difficult to figure out what correlates on top of the church to what's on the bottom of the church when you're looking at it from a 3/4 view.
See, this is why it was absolutely necessary for them to remake Final Fantasy VII as 4 different games.
Well, I will tell you this, in the remake they spare no expense. Every minigame's there. All of them. Every one of them. They even add minigames. Like box
I mean, I guess that's
smashing.
better than taking stuff out. Like, from what I've heard of, like I know this is old news, but the Ratchet and Clank remake is missing like a bunch of. It's like loosely based on the original game, but it's like missing a bunch of planets from it. So you're just like, there's just levels that you can't go to.
I never played the original Ratchet and Clank, and I played the new one when the game and the movie came out. It felt very flat to me, as someone who played a lot of PS2 games back in the day. I was like, I never played the original, but I feel like it would be a little more exciting.
Yeah, I've played about halfway through the original, and I would definitely say that I prefer it. It just kind of has more of like an attitude and a style to it.
Yeah.
Whereas the newer one feels a lot more kind of like...
Oh my god. He's a pumpkin.
Yeah.
Pumpkin.
A little more generic and like kid-friendly, I guess, but maybe that's what they were going for. Anyway, Pumpkin Banjo.
I love the little boing noise
I can't
it
tell
makes
if
when
you
you
were
walk
talking
around.
about Ratchet and Clank or the Pumpkin when you were saying more generic and kid-friendly.
Boing,
I always
boing,
thought he
boing,
looked
boing.
like Bob the Tomato's distant relative.
He does.
Pete the Pumpkin.
Pete the Pumpkin. Yeah, sure.
Peter,
also
Peter,
works.
pumpkin eater.
Why did the music just repeat?
Maybe that's another glitch.
Well, no, I think it was just like the church music doesn't like smoothly fade into the rest of the mansion. But they have like similar sounding parts of the song, and it just played both of them in succession.
What was the game we played not that long ago that had a portion of the game with music that just repeated a whole bunch? Like it got stuck on like a certain stanza.
I don't know.
That sounds
remember.
familiar, but I
Like-
can't remember what it was.
It might have been a fever dream.
Maybe.
So yeah, again, the basic gist of the pumpkin, it's it's every other transformation. It's small, allowing you to go into tight spaces, and it can resist hazardous liquids. So we're gonna use this eventually to go into the well. But first,
We're dealing with this hazardous
Got it.
liquid.
Loggy.
we got a different well to dive into.
Is he gonna flush you? Oh no. Oh no.
Why is the water brown? Yeah, they went there.
What are
This
Welcome
part,
to Grunty's septic tank.
this part is poop.
Yes.
I don't like the
cavern
little
was
roots,
bad
like
enough.
the living roots swinging around in here.
Hey, it's fertilizer.
Remind me never to
Let's
open.
get out of here.
Remind me to never open my toilet.
Yeah.
Come on,
There
you can
may
do
be
it.
roots living in there, too.
You can do it.
Come on, just go up the pipe.
Get in the hole.
See, even Grunty is disgusting.
Wash your
Well,
See, even Gruntilda wants you to wash your hands in these trying times.
trying times.
yeah.
So, is this form actually just a pumpkin full of termites?
Ew.
Probably.
They're just rolling them around.
It's like a tiny mecha controlled by termites.
Yeah. Oh wow, I would have never guessed where that was.
I know, right? That's the thing about Modmonster Monshin.
Mod monster.
Mod Monster, yes.
Come on, Mothma's
There are a lot
mansion.
of... as much as I love this level, the fact that there are so many little spaces to explore means that it is rather easy to miss stuff like that. Come to think of it, the level following this is a lot like that too, where there are a bunch of little like side rooms you can forget to check.
Well, I feel like with the gutter one, it's not obvious that, it's not obvious you can go down the gutter from above, but it's pretty obvious you can go in from the bottom. And then there's just a Jiggy floating there out of reach.
Yeah,
So you're like, how do I get that now?
I guess that's the conclusion you're supposed to
Yeah.
make. Yeah, I guess maybe if the pipe above the gutter was like 3D instead of just like a texture of a hole,
Yeah.
it would be more obvious, but as it is, yeah, it's kind of fiddly.
Oh, that reminds me, we didn't see bottles this whole level.
No.
No,
You're
well,
on the
yeah, in
move.
Freeze Easy Peak we got our final move.
Oh. So the last
And
two
since
levels...
we don't get to do a dance as a transformed Banjo, I had to improvise there.
You gotta do the Sora shake.
The pumpkin.
The pumpkin jiggle.
Pumpkin
I don't know
polka.
my dances. I'm trying to be alliterative here.
The pumpkin
And
pump?
failing.
I don't
The
know.
pumpkin pop.
Sure.
I said polka.
Why
Viewers,
not?
say in the chat what you think the pumpkin dance should be.
Yes, please do. We're so lonely. So as with all the transformations, there is at least one thing we can do outside of the level entrance with it.
You just gotta get there. You
And
can't...
this one is actually required to unlock the next level because this causes the water level to be raised in the next area of Grunty's lair, which will allow us to swim up to the next level entrance. First, we gotta have Mumbo turn us back.
Wait. You're having him turn your back even though you need it.
Oh, we needed to
Well, I
get in
needed to get in here. I don't need it now that I am in here. Because you know what a pumpkin can't do.
Many things, actually,
Ground-
surprisingly
yes.
enough.
Go on adventures.
Oh god, is this the water temple?
This is our
Yep.
this is our obligatory Nintendo 64 water puzzle. Except in this case, it's just pushing a button.
I like how he's like, I don't want to turn you back, but you're like, I've paid the toll.
Fine.
He wants to make you into a pie?
Yeah.
I really shouldn't have imposed this whole like only pay the first time rule. It's
in the-
bankrupting my company,
It's in the voodoo contract.
Mumbo Inc.
Voodoo contract.
So yeah, say goodbye to Spooky Land, everybody.
I forgot about
Aw.
this giant intro area.
It shall be missed. Yeah.
Yeah, guys,
Back
so
into
I'm opening up commissions. I only charge for the first one, and then from there you get the rest of them for free. But you have
don't say that out loud.
But you have to
People-
pay me in magical skull tokens that you find throughout the world.
throughout the real world.
Yeah.
So if I
Is there like an app like Pokemon Go?
No, I only take real physical skull tokens
can't
that you have to mail
do,
to me.
Do Crystal Skull vodka bottles work?
Oh no.
I guess they are magic. They were filtered through real diamonds.
Yeah.
True.
I love how I love how she just talks to anything or anyone. So, you know, you're a pumpkin here.
She's very lonely.
She's like the horse in Twilight Princess. Even a transformed Banjo, she can still recognize.
I like
has-
to think she like sells all these facts and everyone's like, that's a lamp.
Spotty
Brentil.
purple
Oh,
undies
just
aren't actually all
Brentilda
that bad.
talking to the fridge again.
She's trying to get Skype to work on her fridge.
I saw her talking to a washing machine once.
Yeah. Well, that actually. Wow. Good one.
Who's hungry for some
So here's
Cheetos?
Cheeto again. God. So, 2E players, which do we prefer? The way Cheeto was handled in this game or the second game?
Probably this one.
You mean finding him in multiple places versus finding his pages and bringing him back to one place?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, one of them you get the reward immediately, and the other one you just kind of go and find.
Work towards.
Yeah. Although I guess in 2E, the fact that the pages were just simple collectibles means they could be kind of hid in more places and more like interesting places. Well, no, these are interesting places, but there was more like different kinds of places you could hide them in Tooie.
Well, and I think in Tooie, it's just like that's one of the. I don't want to say the few things in that game that like actually are like satisfying to work towards, but it is nice to have something that you can reward people with for like not a monumental amount of work in a game where it's like do like 600 things to get one Jiggy. So I like the way they handled the Cheeto pages in the second game, but I also like it in this because it's like the areas where you find him in are like pretty well hidden for the most part, and almost they do feel like areas that you're not supposed to go to.
Is Cheeto kind of like the honeycombs of this game, or are those also in
the honeycombs?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Are those also in Tooie?
Oh yeah. The honeycombs in Tooie. The honeycombs in Tooie work about the same as they do in this game, except that like the you no longer need 6 to expand your health. It just like you start out with 1, then 3, then like 5, and like for each pip of health you need more honeycombs.
Okay. Oh god, so wait, what code did it give you?
Red feathers. This is going to allow us to carry 50 additional feathers and fly for much longer.
So, I've probably asked this before, but if you know the codes beforehand, do you have to meet them?
Yes.
Aww.
I think talking to Cheeto unlocks the ability to, like, input the code.
Okay.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense.
There are some codes that are just kind of nobody in the game tells them to you, and they're just available whenever.
Right,
But-
like the actual cheat codes.
Yeah, the actual cheat codes. But most of the codes you have to earn by either talking to Cheeto or doing the puzzle in Banjo's house.
Yeah.
So you're doing, like, cleanup work, then?
Yeah, I'm just kind of getting everything, everything as I go.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they made that
as
timer
possible.
more lenient in this one.
I can't wait to...
man.
I can't wait for some speedrunner to run across this series and be like, as efficiently as possible, are you kidding me? I'd have been done by part 1.
Just 2 more
They wouldn't
and
have lost a
overboard.
single life.
Yeah.
Speedrunners lose lives.
Was Cranky Kong the original speedrunner?
Yes.
I played DK64 with one hand tied.
Honestly, I feel like if a speedrunner were watching the series, what they'd actually be thinking would be more along the lines of, ha, they did the funny Banjo voice again. That's good content.
Finally, somebody who's not mashing A through the whole game. Okay. I know that's not what they do.
I wonder if speedrunners...
Speedrunning is literally just who can mash A the fastest.
Dad, please, no.
I wonder if
What's
speedrunners...
left of my reputation?
I wonder if they ever get sick of the game they run, but they're like, I gotta get that world record.
Definitely.
I don't know how you couldn't, man. Like, I have enough difficulty just like trying to be like casually good at video games, like let alone, you know, practicing each minute little movement like ad nauseum until you can do it reliably.
Yeah.
But to each his own, I guess.
There's definitely speedrunners out there that are just doing it for the record, which I feel like is not a good mindset to be having. But
Well, yeah, I mean, I mean, if your goal is to be like the best in the world, like
yeah,
there can only be one best in the world in anything. So
Yeah.
good luck with that, I guess.
but I feel like most people in the speedrunning community just kind of do it for fun.
Well,
And-
naturally.
yeah.
Aw, he looked like he
And now
got
that
knocked over.
that hypothetical speedrunner watching this is like, why are they talking about us like we're aliens?
Those speedrunners and their
In which case, leave a comment. Let's get to know
strange
each other.
customs. Yeah. You could.
He suggested creepily.
You could get the world record for being our first speedrunner subscriber.
Yeah. Yeah, unlike most YouTube channels, we actually want people to comment first on these videos.
Yeah. Oh man, I keep forgetting this game has different music for underwater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that room right there is where the Mad Monster Mansion puzzle is, which I guess if you... It's so weird. I'm not sure why that hallway is there other than to, like, clue you into that. But I feel like it's easier to just find the puzzle than it is to get, like, in here. I don't know. It's just weird.
Yeah, it seems kind of like backwards.
Yeah.
It's like like you said, you'd get there first.
Uh-huh. I guess every game has its quirks.
It's a
A
boat.
steep bucket.
Actually, can you even get here without getting in a Mad Monster Mansion? Did the water level need to be raised to get up here?
I think so.
Yes.
So you have to get the
So
Mad
yeah,
Monster
it is
Mansion puzzle
pointless.
first.
Oh my god.
I wonder if it's just one of those things that's just like a cool little thing to show how interconnected the castle is.
Uh-huh. We put these two areas in the same loading zone.
Honestly, impressive for the N64.
Yeah. It was always weird to me that you have to swim into that level entrance as opposed to all the other ones where you just like walk in or jump in.
Oh yeah.
But as they say, variety is the spice of life, and we are in for a
Spicy meatball
wonderful
of an
new
episode.
variety. Yes, a spicy new level in the form of Rusty Bucket Bay, so join us next time
Oh boy.
when we dive into the oil.